Okay, so I was just kind of like in my thoughts, and I thought, you know what? Why don't we talk about it? I think we should talk about
The
it.
gunman in custody at this hour. ABC News anchor David Muir just tweeting minutes ago. A law enforcement source now saying 15 people are dead. Deputies previously confirming they had transported 14 people to the hospital, but now we're learning 15 are dead.
Okay, so in America right now, there's been 18 school shootings in the last listen, it's the 17th of February at the time of this recording. 16th of February even, and there's been 18 school shootings this year in America. And the most recent being the Florida school shooting. And I felt like, yo, first of all, condolences and love to the families that were affected by this, as well as anybody that was actually involved, and obviously to the people who put their lives on the line to help save these children, as well as the children's teachers, etc. Everybody, like, love to them, because you know this is a disgusting thing to happen. And before I dive into what I wanted to talk about first, it's kind of like, why is this what, like, I for me personally, I mean, I just don't understand why the gun law still exists. Like, take guns off the street. There needs to be new gun laws. There needs to be changes and restriction towards who can have guns and the use of guns. And yes, it's already got to a point where it's so majorly distributed that it may not make such a big difference, but it will take it off the hands of people who, I guess, don't even know how to use it that wisely. That statement was a bit wild. Let me correct myself, just so that you know what I'm like. Let me elaborate. In terms of, yes, a lot of people have it to the point where to get off the streets is gonna be very hard, but to have something in place to show that you're doing something about it is an active step, and I believe that's moving forward. That's definitely moving forward, and over time it will reduce it, because people cannot just no longer go and buy these things without let's say, like, a credible license. I don't know exactly how it works, but there needs to be new gun laws. 100%. Like, they need to be, yes, 100%. Yes, underground illegitimate means may still be possible, but essentially will make it harder for these people to do it. And if it's for trivial crime, these people will feel, if anything, the psychology of it'll be so hard to attain that it may just reduce the likelihood of it happening so easily. Let's say that. Now, what actually really did annoy me by the situation, as of most situation in mainstream media right now, is the fact that my issue with these crimes committed by white people is that they're given a story. What I mean is that the media gives them a story to justify the issue, and that exposes the dysfunctional side of media, and the fact that media is very color specific. Like, if I'm a black person, I'm a criminal, or I'm a psychopath, or I'm this, I'm that, and you know, they pick the worst picture, they pick the worst this, they pick all the stuff that makes you look like, quote unquote, a stereotype or a thug or something like that, because they want to make you look as bad as possible. But when it's a white person doing a terrorist act, media makes him seem, they give him a story to make him seem soft, to make him seem like it wasn't his decision, his environment caused him to make that decision. This one specifically, the story that they gave for him, it was like an orphan kid, like, with a troubled past. They tried to give him a story, they tried to justify actions to the point where, like, I don't get it. Like, he did a terrorist act. Yes, you missed the signs, but cool. He did an act of terrorism. He killed 17 people. He shot up a school. He got arms. Where in between do I need to know his sub story? Better yet, if you're gonna do that for anybody that's white, then I expect you to do the same for anybody that's black. To be honest, if you look at people that live and come from the hood are more than likely going to experience, they'll be dealing with a mental health issue, but it seems to be underrepresented. Because why? Because why? Like, why don't we ever talk about that? These people that live in the hood and see people die all the time, can you imagine that the trauma that they're in? And if it be, for some, it's survival when they have to kill people, but we never get the opportunity to really have a story, and it frustrates me. And I thought I need to talk about it. And forgive me if I'm not, politically correct in a lot of the statements I've made. I'm not here to be politically correct. I'm here to share the fact that I am sick and tired of mainstream media trying to protect and always save the image of somebody that's done something horrific. I can't remember the guy that was a rapist. I don't know, I'm not good with names, but the guy that raped someone, he went back to school, you know, everything was fine. They said he had a mental health issue, he has a mental health this, or he has a troubled past, he has this. These people, they arrest them and they take them to McDonald's. I don't understand. You've arrested me, then you take me to McDonald's, but as a black person, you arrest me for trivial crimes, let's say drugs on the street, and they're handcuffed. And as you've seen in America, why the system is so corrupt is that these people often get killed for not even doing anything. They get shot in the back, they get shot in the chest, the face, they get choked for carrying sweets and wearing a hoodie. Like, but you wanna give a story to a guy that decided and blatantly gone to carry a gun and shoot a school and kill 17 people in premeditated murder. When will this end? And it's sad to say that this is the life that we live in. And it's very frustrating. And you know, I'm speaking from the UK, where this doesn't really grossly affect me as much as it affects someone in the States. But I have family there. Half my family are there. It's like, it's scary to know that, you know, getting stopped by the police is no longer something that would trigger a little bit of fear, but it triggers your last prayers for you to pray to God to save your life. Like, or the fact that every time I commit a crime, or maybe I might commit a crime to help my family. There's people that commit crimes because it's their only way out. There's people that will sell drugs so that they can feed their kids, to give their kids a better standard of living. And the fact is, yes, I understand these things are criminal, but if you're going to give a story to somebody that can go into a church and just massacre people, or go into a school and massacre people, why don't you give an ear out to the mental health, or why don't you support these families? Rather, you take the parents off the street and then leave them in a cycle of survival, which will cause them more than likely to do the same thing, because our environment is often how we survive. So if there's drugs on the street, it gives me a product, which is money, and money is what I need for survival. You do the math. I do what I have to do to survive in a place where I need to survive. And it's crazy to think that this is the world we live in, and it really, really frustrates me. Apologies if no, I'm not apologizing for nothing. Like, this is my thoughts on it. Like, this is, it gets me so angry. Yeah, it's something like, yeah, I mean, this is the end of the video. I kind of just wanted to share my point, my perspective, and like, my frustration and about this whole thing. It's really, I just hope at some point things will change. Like, there's so much inequality in the system that when you choose to talk about it as a black person, you're made to feel as if you don't have a right to talk about it, to the point where, like, any white person that hears of it or feels triggered, they then feel like, raw, we've already done this for you, we've already been helping this for you. And then there's just still this, I'm not saying every white person, of course not, there's people that are not involved in this. I'm not talking, when I say white people, I'm not addressing every single white person. That's just a generalization. I'm addressing the ones who choose to normally understand the situation and the society we live in, and choose to still be corrupt in their mind, and they still choose to act ignorant to the fact that society is unequal, and you turning a blind eye to it is being a part of it. But what do I know, right? Yeah, it's been me. Yeah.